Namaste. The light and love of the divine in me honors and greets the light and love of the divine in each and every one of you here this morning. It is a beautiful day wherever you are. I know it's a beautiful day because every day that we're here is a perfect and beautiful day. So thank you for being with us. It's going to be a wonderful, special morning, I believe, this morning. So we always take just a few minutes to share a little bit about who we are. We are the Awakening Way spiritual community. We are a New Thought community. We follow the lineage of Dr. Ernest Holmes, and we believe that within us there is this presence, this power, this love, this joy that is ever present and waiting to come forth and express from us when we allow it to come forth. And as humans, what we find is so often we just, we block that. We don't allow that to come through. And one of the things about New Thought is that we believe that that one life, that one power and that one presence that's ever available, we can connect with and we can commune with, and we can live from the awareness of that is within us. We can live out in the world with that awareness. And when we do, our lives just become amazing, amazing. We see in a new way, we speak in a new way, we move in a new way because we are aware of the truth that we are spiritual beings. The truth of us is that we are spiritual beings. And so as a spiritual community, we're here to remind you of that. And we have gatherings like this to allow you to feel inspired and to remember that truth for yourself. We offer classes and meditations that offer skills to help you maneuver through life when you begin to forget that truth of who you really are, that magnificence of who you truly are. And so this is one of those special moments, isn't it? And this is one of those special days. And whatever it is that brought you here this morning and wherever you go when you leave here this morning, for this perfect moment in time, welcome home. We've been waiting for you. This morning we are so excited about because we have a beautiful guest speaker. You know, Dr. Rick Moss, we've known Rick for many years, and I know Rick to be this one of truly the most generous spirits I've ever known. He gives of himself over and over and over again in so many ways. He is a beautiful, beautiful being. He has a brilliant mind. He has a kind and loving heart, and he is truly an amazing healer, and we are so blessed to have him with us this morning. It's so wonderful to see him. You know, Rick lives in Key Biscayne, Florida, so it's truly a meeting of the West Coast and the East Coast this morning, just like that, you know, with the power of technology. How remarkable is that? So Rick will be guiding us through processes this morning, and at the end of his talk, he's going to be allowing time for questions, and then he will be answering those. And Frank's going to share just a little bit about how that's going to work this morning.
Yeah, in order to honor Dr. Rick and his time and his effort in bringing us his processes, we want to maintain continuity of topic. And so we're going to use the chat function. And so if you look at the bottom of your screen, you can see the chat function, and then you can go to the list of people, and you're going to pick Awakening Way Spiritual Community and send it to me, and I'll ask the questions to Rick. We thought it would be easier that way. Let's be honest, our community is like a herd of cats. And so it's easier for us to do it this way than to try to just open up the mics. Okay? So use the chat function, send your questions to me, and I'll bring them to Rick.
Through Awakening Ways.
Yeah, through Awakening Ways. Okay, thank you.
Good. So you can see it's going to be a really, really great Great morning. And before we move into what's the rest of the morning is, how the rest of the morning unfolds, let's just begin with a brief invocation. And I invite you to join me for a moment of stillness and silence and an opportunity to connect to the divine right here and now. And so if you're comfortable, just allow your eyes to softly close right where you are in the safety of your own home. And take a few deep breaths on your own, breathing in deeply and fully, and exhaling completely. And just imagine that all of those beautiful chakras, all that energy that is flowing through you is now flowing freely from the tips of your toes to the top of your head and beyond. Fully open, conscious, and aware in this perfect moment. Dr. Ernest Holmes said, "Let us turn toward the sun of eternal life, the spiritual sun that cannot set and forever rises on the horizon of our own experience." And so this morning we turn within to that spiritual sun, that warms our heart, that fuels our bodies. We're aware of the physical sun in the sky and that same power, that same energy that allows us to grow and expand lives within us, that spiritual sun. And so we recognize it right here. We recognize it surrounding us and enfolding us and filling us and opening us to the awareness of who and what we are. These beautiful beings, rays, emanations of that one light, of that one divine and shining sun. And we gather together this morning to let our light shine collectively, to make this experience this morning so filled with light, so filled with love, so filled with healing, that truly it changes the world just because we're here. And so I give my thanks for everything that will be unfolding this morning. My thanks to Rick Moss for the gifts that he brings. My thanks to the musicians for their talent and their melodies that lift us higher and higher. My thanks to Ron Gallagher and his facilitating this whole call this morning. My thanks to each and every person who is here bringing their awareness, their conscious awareness with meaning and purpose as we move through this morning. And knowing that everything is divinely guided, I know there's nothing I need to do but simply let it be. And I do that, and I simply say, and so it is. Amen.
I release all that is unlike love. Today I judge nothing that happens. And if things go bad, I don't feel sad. I just let it be, let it be perfect for me. I embrace all that is good in the world. Today I hold everything sacred. When I feel low, I let it all go. I just let it be perfect for me. Today I embrace all that's good in my life. just remember this song, and I let it be perfect for me. And I let it be perfect. And I let it be perfect. And I let it be perfect for me. Perfect for me. It's all perfect in my world.
Wow, that was so wonderful. Thank you. I am so delighted to be here with this incredibly beautiful herd of cats that you managed to bring together and keep in one place, and so many friends and so many beautiful people, and leave it to you, Frank and Terry, to bring the coolest cats. So thank you for that. I want to start by telling you that I'd like to talk for a little bit and tell you stuff that you know, but that it's good to be reminded of. So it's obvious that COVID has brought us dramatic, inconceivable challenges and worse. But it's also brought us incredible opportunities for realigning work and families, our planet. And the gift that it brings us today, I think, is an opportunity for transformation. So what do I mean by transformation? What I mean by transformation is an opportunity to resolve an issue at its deepest level, at the level of our identity, of our being. And that's what I'd like us to explore and experience today. So what is the approach that transformation can lead up to? Well, if there is a challenge, we could deal with it at the surface level, let's say a headache, and we could take an aspirin and we could cure it. So curing might be a level 1 approach to a challenge. Level 2, which we might call healing, might be to address where in the body there is an abnormality that may be leading to the headache. All useful. But there is a deeper level. And that deeper level has to do with using the opportunity of the challenge to discover more of who we truly are in our divine and innate nature as God creates us, whole and complete. So if we use that headache to go back into ourselves and find out, what is this representing? What is it offering? How can we use this? Then we can go beyond curing or healing to transformation, to the deepest level of resolution. And let's say we're dealing with the relationship issue. So at the curing level, we could do a couple process. and might make things a little better. At a deeper level than that, a healing level, we could understand that relationships repeat themselves based on unresolved experiences in childhood with our parents and the misunderstanding of what we think love is. And that could really help the relationship. But at the transformational level, we can use the challenge in that relationship to learn how to give ourselves that love that we're trying to get from the other. How to give ourselves that love, and then it overflows. And then that relationship works beautifully. Because ultimately, love is the most attractive force in the universe. And if you're radiating unconditional love, you're going to see it reflected back. So at that level, using the challenge for the purpose of transformation is the deepest level of addressing the challenge. So we get a chance to explore what we can do about what is getting triggered within us by the COVID situation for the purpose of our transformation. And we're going to do that with a couple of different approaches. And here's the first one that I'd like to offer to you. Some people like to work with their eyes closed, some people open. I am going to start with a little opening prayer. We ask that this healing grace all who are listening. Extend out from all who are listening to all who are receptive. That it spreads out love, acceptance, and self-awareness through us, all that we know, throughout the whole planet, which we know is possible because we're all connected. And so it is. Imagine, if you will, that you're standing in this vat, this big tub. And I'm going to ask you to look within yourself now and find within yourself some limited emotion that has been triggered by all that's going on in the world. It could be fear, survival fear for sure. It could be anger, rage, the harshness of judgment, resentment. Pick one so that you can concentrate on it. Whatever you have picked, imagine that it has a color. Imagine that that color is that energy that is surrounding you in the vat. Now, when you've done that, I'm going to ask you to take 2 full minutes to be with whatever that emotion is. Because you have to give it the presence, the loving attention, to allow it to break up and start to move out, to allow it to integrate at a deeper level and resolve. And it does take time because you can only heal what you feel. So I'm going to time you, and I will remind you throughout the process in case your mind slips. You're going to be with it. Now, what does it feel like to be with an emotion like fear? You're not going to try and change it. You're going to treat it as if you were treating it with unconditional care. Unconditional love, unconditional regard. Like you were loving an animal or a child, loving it just the way it is, because unconditional love doesn't demand that it changes. It just loves it as it is. So you're going to presence it. You're going to be with it, observe it, which of course also has an added benefit because it stops you from identifying it. You are not afraid. You are simply observing fear. Halfway done. Okay, starting now, observe whatever it is that you're working with right now. Anger, fear, shame, you name it. Just pick one. Presence it. If it helps, you can say to it lovingly, I'm right here. I'm right here with you. That's 1 minute. Give it another minute of your loving presence, your awareness, your disidentification. There we go. Actually, I'm feeling stuff change now. It's very cool. You are not that fear. You are observing it. Beautiful. Keep going. You got 30 seconds more. Yes. It's great. Y'all are doing a great job. Beautiful. All right. Now, you have allowed this to start to break up. You don't need this stale chi, old energy. There is a button on the inside of the vat. And if you push it, it'll open the drain. So this old energy from the past that really has nothing to do with you can just drain away. Push the button. Let this old emotion, whatever color you gave it, let it drain. Let gravity have at it. And just start letting it go. Yep. Maybe it's drained down to your waist. Keep letting it go. Down to your knees. To your ankles and out your feet. Wonderful. Now, when that energy has drained away and your identification has been reduced with an emotion that was stuck in your body and mind, imagine that the walls of the vat fall away. And the earth swallows them up. And now you step off the drain of the vat, and there you are in the most beautiful place in nature that you could imagine. It's the present moment. It's where healing happens. It's not you in your past, not you in your brain or mind. So there you stand in this present moment, which is God's moment. Because God lives in the present moment, whatever you have in your brain as God isn't God. So there you stand in that beauty. Now use your senses, because the body is in the present moment. The senses will bring you into the present moment. And the more you use your senses, you'll find that you're not thinking from the past. You're just being in the present. So you're barefoot on the grass. Feel the grass. Feel the warmth of the earth. This is the most exquisite place you could imagine. So beautiful, totally safe, just perfect. Smell the flowers. Bring every sense that you have into it. Listen to the breeze in the trees. Maybe there are snow-capped mountains. Maybe there's an ocean. But it's everything that you love, so that the beauty is so rich that it fills you with delight. And then you realize the sun is shining on you right now. And it's warm. It's life-giving. It's healing. It's nurturing. It's everything that you need. Let it in. And notice that you are being loved by the sun for no reason at all. It has nothing to do with your body. It has nothing to do with your past or your future or your bank account or your skills. It's just shining on you because it's unconditional sunlight. And it's unconditional love. And so you drink it in. You receive it. Not that you deserve it. Deserving has nothing to do with love. Not unconditional love, not God's love, not sunshine. And you drink it in. It starts to fill you up. If we aren't filled up by this love, we're running around trying to get other people to fill us up. And it leads to neediness and codependency. But if we're filled up and overflowing, it gives us this sense that we're just fine as we are. So that if anyone is unable to extend love to us in that moment, it's not about us, it's about them. And that leads to compassion, not judgment. We're radiating this love because we let it in, because it's our nature, because it's who we truly are, because it is our identity. And then you know what? The world reflects it back. That's how our world is transformed. Suddenly, everyone's reflecting it back. when I was growing up, my parents being Jewish, shared with me this wonderful Jewish saying. And that was, when you're in love, the whole world is Jewish. Well, we're going to expand that out a little bit. When you're in love, the whole world is loving. All right. Now, take a minute and breathe in that love. Let it fill your body. Any place in your body that feels constricted, alienated, set off. Allow the love to surround it, to shine on it. But it needs to be unconditional, so you can't demand that it change for that love to be given. You just love it as it is, and you surround it with love. And then you let love work its magic. Now, let your whole body fill with this love. I can see you all. You're just radiant. You're radiant with your true identity. You're radiant with your being. You're radiant with presence. And for this gift of God, of radiance, of goodness, of self-remembering, of transformation, we say, thank you, God. And we ask that this healing be integrated through all time, space, dimensions, and interdimensions, throughout the hologram of life and existence, which is just another word for every part and particle of our being. And through us, may we offer this healing to the universe. And so it is. Lovely, lovely. That was wonderful. You guys did great. Frank, do you think we should just go right into a second clearing or take questions now? Which, put one finger up for now and two for keep going.
Well, what would you like to do?
I really need your input on that. I'm sort of feeling that that was incredibly profound, and that input might be really useful here, even more than at the end, because
Okay.
I don't know that it gets deeper than that.
Okay. We can certainly do that. So if any of you have questions that you want to ask Rick right now, please go to the chat function, and remember that you're going to address your chat to Awakening Ways, and then I will try to put them in some kind of order and bring them to Rick, okay?
And
So let's
while
go
that
ahead and do-
happens, I'm just going to ask guidance, which runs the whole show with this equipment, what we're going to do next.
Okay.
No. through the body. Okay.
Yeah. I think everyone's in a state of, oh, here. Yeah. I think everybody's in a state of healing right now, Rick.
Okay, that's great. I got my marching orders.
Oh,
So here we go.
okay.
Y'all take another couple of breaths. Breath in, tension, stress out. Breath in, tension, stress out. Breath in, tension, stress out. Okay, guidance says that what we're going to look at is not a word I usually get led to. Resistance. So we're going to take a look at where we hold within us resistance, where we hold within us this no way, or I won't let it, or it's not going to happen, or not on my watch, or you'll find your own version of that. Guidance says this resistance needs to be addressed in our bodies because it's having an effect on our bodies that isn't purposeful. So when I say resistance, please look and see where in your body you find the strongest reaction. Now, if that is in your gut, I feel it in the gut, I feel it throat, heart, I imagine some people may have the whole area, but there may be some place in your body where that resistance, where that no, where that push away is strongest. Imagine that that part of your body is a room, and you are not in that room. You are looking in through a window or a door. At that resistance in that part of your body, which is a room. Now, here's where you get to get creative. What does that resistance look like to you? It could be an animal, it could be a monster, it could be energy bouncing off the walls, it could be an inner child, it could be anything. Give the resistance some sense. Now, if you're not visual, give it some felt sense, squashed or impinged upon or angry. But give it some sense. You're not in the room, you're outside of the room, and you're looking in at the resistance in some form. Good. Now, it is important for you to be looking in from what we could call your best self, your higher self, your God self. And sometimes, especially when we're triggered, it's hard to get there. So here's what I suggest. Find someone or something that you have the greatest amount of care and kindness for. Could be a child asleep, could be an animal, could be something in nature, a plant, a mountain, a tree. Feel your care, your kindness, your goodness for that which you observe. Ask yourself, could I intentionally harm that which I am caring for, feeling kindness for? And I think you will find a very clear answer. To hold kindness, care, compassion, love, and an intent to harm is impossible. Might be one of the things we're most sure of on the planet, that love can't harm intentionally. Not if it's real love. Now, shine that real love into the room. Whatever is in that room, shine your love on it. There you go. Beautiful. Saying to it, you have every right to feel what you feel, to be as you are, and still be loved. Keep shining that light, that love, that acceptance for whatever is revealing itself to you. Keep going. Loving it just as it is. That's the trick. Yep. Now, as I feel into what's going on, it feels to me like whatever's in the room is becoming either contracted, getting less, getting smaller, getting lighter. So keep going, it's working. It's going even faster now, I think. You have the right, say to it, to feel whatever you feel and still be loved. And if you can't say loved, then you can say you have the right to feel whatever you feel and still be cared for, protected, treated with kindness, which is love. Sometimes the word scares us because of childhood experiences. But that's for a different clearing. There we go. Now, it feels to me, and if we're working one-on-one, I would, of course, check in with you individually, but it feels to me, and guidance says to go for it, that it's time for you to enter the room and bring that love into the room of that part of your body. And say to whatever there, I'm here. I'm here to love and protect you. I'm here to look out for you. I'm not going to let anyone hurt you. I'm going to surround you with love. And you're going to be safe now. And it feels to me that whatever is in the room is continuing to shrink down. Whatever is in the room, for some of us it may be an inner child, from some of us it may just be an energy, for some of us it may be an object. Whatever's in the room, surround it with your energy arms. Surround it with your energy arms. Don't touch it, but surround it. Giving it that love, that presence, that vibrancy. That's it. That's it. Beautiful. Beautiful. And say to it, I'm right here. I'm right here to love and protect you, to stand guard, to be on your side, to not judge you, but just give you this energy that you've been waiting for, that you needed in order to heal. Here it is. Here it is, carried on this love, and it is for you. And I'm not going anywhere, you tell it. I'm right here to be with you, to stand on your side, to love you just as you are. And bring that energy. It may be a child, it may be something else. If that energy will allow you to embrace it with your arms and bring it to your heart chakra, bring it in. I'm right here. We're together. Love can do this. As you do this, notice your identity is in the love. Your identity is not in the problem, the challenge, the issue. It's just been there for you to discover who you are. And you're not it, you're you. You're not the limitation, the fear, the resistance. Those are all just egoic aspects. But you're not your ego. Your ego is always changing. And you are identifying with it less and less, and identifying more and more with the light that is your very nature. And this process of de-identification with the stuff and identification with your true nature, that's transformation. And so we ask that this healing be integrated through all time, space, dimensions, and interdimensions, throughout the hologram of life and existence, and yea, God. Thank you all. That was really fun.
Born is my body, eternal is my soul, trusting in spirit, perfect and whole. Born is my body, eternal is my soul, trusting in spirit, perfect and whole, trusting in spirit divine, trusting in spirit divine, trusting in spirit divine, trusting in spirit divine. Born is my body, eternal is my soul, trusting in spirit, is my soul, trusting in spirit, perfect and whole, trusting in spirit divine, trusting in spirit divine. Trusting in spirit divine, trusting in spirit divine, trusting in spirit divine. Oh yeah, trusting in spirit divine. Oh yeah, trusting in spirit divine. Oh yeah. Trusting in spirit divine. Born is my body, eternal is my soul.
Thank you. Thanks to our wonderful musicians from Awakening Ways. And Rick, thank you so much. That was wonderful, brother. Couple of comments came up, several comments came up, how amazing it was. And there was at least one person that asked how they could get a copy of this. And the answer to that is really simple. Well, simple for you, not necessarily simple for Ron and myself. Within a couple of days, this entire gathering is going to be on YouTube, and you'll be able to watch it anytime you want and go through these processes again. And we encourage you to do so. Terry and I have both worked with Rick before for ourselves in clearing issues that we had. And one of the things that's really helpful is to go through it again and again, if you can, for yourself. And if not, then go back to the video and allow Rick to take you through it again.
They can contact him also.
And you,
They
yeah.
can contact him also.
And you can contact Rick also, and if you want one-on-one work with him. He's always available to do that, and that is through Essential Pathways. Is that Rick? The Essential Pathways website? Okay, good. So you would go to www.essentialpathways.com, and Rick will be able to get back to you quickly. Couple of announcements, brief ones. Remember that the board members, remember we have a board meeting this week. As I said earlier, this video will be available on YouTube within a couple of days. Remember that you could always get prayer requests into us. We are still the community that really revolves around prayer. And so just call the office and leave it on the machine, say that it's a prayer request, and it will get out to all the soul support team members. Or you can email it to Awakening Ways and put prayer request in the heading, and we will get it all to all of the practitioners and ministers that way. Also remember that we exist only because of your tithes. We're able to do what we're doing through this time because of the tithes that you have been sending to us. We appreciate all of your love and your offerings during this time, and we hope that will continue. And with that, I think that we're ready to do the blessing. Do you have a blessing that you wanted to give?
Just go right ahead.
Okay. All right. So for all of us, remember that afterwards we will have our socialization. Socializing, not socialization. I've been reminded that socialization and socializing are two different things. Sometimes I need socialization. What can I say? Remember that socializing will be going on afterwards. So if you'd like to talk to your friends online, just go ahead and unmute yourself, and Rick will stay on with us for a few minutes, so that if you have questions for him, you can ask him directly. And so now let's just close our eyes briefly. Move into that space of awareness, that space of receptivity to spirit. And our blessing for you this day is that all of those things that prevent you from being that divine shining light that you were born to be, that you are inherently, all of those things are now cleared. They are cleansed, they are washed away. And from this moment forward, you walk in the light as the light and bless the world. Namaste.
Namaste.